Welcome to Battle Network Academy. Time to go over the double souls from Battle Network 5. I will only be going over the double souls in this video. I'll cover the Chaos Unison and Dark chips later on. Starting off with Team Protoman, we have Magnet Soul. Activating Magnet Soul requires the sacrifice of an Elect chip. This soul is an Elect element and is weak to wood attacks. While Magnet Soul is active, you are able to walk freely on mag panels, and you can chip charge non-dimming Elect chips for ×2 damage. You can also use back B while you're in the same row as your opponent to temporarily stun them, locking them in place for 20 frames. Magnet Soul changes your charge shot to Mag Bolt. Mag Bolt hits one panel in front of Mega Man, dealing 10 times attack level plus 30 Elect damage. If you're in the same row as your opponent, they'll be pulled to their front row and will be paralyzed if the attack hits. This attack takes 80 frames, or a little under a second and a half to charge. Next up is Gyro Soul. Activating Gyro Soul requires the sacrifice of a wind chip. This soul is null element and has no elemental weaknesses. While this soul is active, you gain air shoes and float shoes. And using a non-dimming wind chip will activate Gyro Boost. Gyro Boost will make your next non-dimming wind or null chip attack deal ×2 damage. This effect will persist through the battle until you either exit the soul or you use a null chip. Gyro Soul changes your charge shot to Tornado Arm. Tornado Arm hits 3 panels in front of Mega Man, dealing 5 times attack level plus 15 null damage. This attack hits once on the panel directly in front of Mega Man, twice on the second panel, and 3 times on the third panel. And this attack is able to completely remove barriers and auras. This attack takes 70 frames, or just over a second to charge. Next up we have Napalm Soul. Activating Napalm Soul requires the sacrifice of a fire chip. This soul is fire element and is weak to aqua attacks. While Napalm Soul is active, you gain a plus 40 to non-dimming fire chips. You also won't take damage when stepping on lava panels. Instead, when standing onto a lava panel with a chip attack in your hand, you will consume the lava panel and it will add plus 10 damage to your next attack. There is no cap to how much you can absorb. This effect not only applies to Megas and Gigas, but can also boost program advances as well. Standing on C panels, however, will cause your HP to drain as if you were standing on a poison panel. Napalm Soul lets you chip charge non-dimming fire chips to fire Napalm Bomb. Napalm Bomb targets the 3x3 area around your opponent's current position when you release the A button, dealing double the damage of whatever fire chip you use to charge it. Napalm Soul changes your charge shot to Fire Vulcan. Fire Vulcan shoots down the same row as Mega Man, dealing damage to the initial hit target and one panel behind the target as well, dealing 5 times attack level plus 5 fire damage. This attack takes 60 frames, or 1 second to charge. Next up we have Search Soul. Activating Search Soul requires the sacrifice of a cursor chip. This soul is null element and has no elemental weaknesses. Upon entering Search Soul, Invis will be removed from your opponent. And if your opponent is holding any chips, you'll be able to tell how many they have in their hand. You also gain the Chip Shuffle function in your cuss screen. Search Soul changes your charge shot to Snipe Gun. Snipe Gun locks onto the nearest enemy, hitting 5 times, dealing 2 times attack level, plus 10 null damage. This attack pierces Invis, and takes 100 frames, or just over a second and a half to charge. Next up we have Medi-Soul. Activating Medi-Soul requires the sacrifice of a recovery chip. This soul is null element and has no elemental weaknesses. While Medi-Soul is active, you're able to apply 2 random status effects to your chip attacks in your cuss screen. These effects are added by the different capsules. White cap adds paralysis, yellow cap adds confusion, black cap adds blind, purple cap adds an HP bug, and pink cap adds a chip heal effect. There's a higher chance for you to get pink caps when your health is lower, and a lower chance for you to get pink caps when your health is higher. The confusion and blindness from the yellow and black caps lasts for 480 frames, or 8 seconds. Medi-Soul changes your charge shot to Cap Bomb. Cap Bomb throws 3 panels in front of Mega Man and exploding in a 1x3 area, dealing 10 times attack level plus 30 null damage. This attack takes 60 frames, or 1 second to charge. And finally we have Proto Soul. Activating Proto Soul requires the sacrifice of a sword chip. This soul is null element and has no elemental weaknesses. While this soul is active, you gain a back B reflector This ability overrides any back B abilities you might have in your Navicust at the time. You also gain the ability to chip charge non-dimming sword chips to do a ×2 step sword attack. The step sword will jump forward 2 panels and perform the attack. A small note to keep in mind is that there is a 10 HP collision damage that is taken by both players if you move into your opponent. Protosoul changes your charge shot to wide sword. This attack hits a 1x3 area in front of Mega Man, dealing 10 times attack level plus 70 null damage. This attack takes 70 frames, or just over a second to charge. And that covers Team Protoman. Team Protoman was the first game in the series that I ever played. It's got a special place in my heart. Before I end things real quick, I want to give a big thank you to Chicola, Dez, and T-Chomp. Your guys' help has been invaluable when making these. Thank you very, very much for helping me. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.